The crisis in Venezuela is a major violation of human rights simply because the people don't have access to basic necessities. President Nicolas Maduro's actions have discouraged the ability for his people to live a safe and healthy life in their country. At one point, Venezuela was one of the richest countries in the world. The country's past two leaders, but mainly Maduro, have had much to do with its failing economy. Chavez ran on a leftist ideology that vowed to fight government corruption and aid the poor, which got him elected in 1999. Things were going relatively well until natural disaster struck in 2001, causing landslides and mass destruction. Years go by, and in 2013, Chavez passes away, and Nicolas Maduro takes office. Chavez was a longtime mentor to Maduro. People should have a major say in how their country is run and who runs it, but Venezuela is currently not being run for the people, and the people have had enough. There are all different types of people in the country: mothers, fathers, brothers, cousins, etc. The list goes on. The point is, these are all living humans in a tough environment. Public health systems have been and continue to fall apart as they cannot be funded. Not only is it difficult to get medical care that you need, but food is scarce as well. Grocery store shelves are empty, and currently about 80% of families do not have reliable access to food. And with this hunger comes a lot of violence. As tensions rise higher and people continue to starve, there are more instances of people savagely scavenging for even scraps of food. Adults and children can be seen scavenging trash bales and trash trucks for whichever food they can possibly find. All of this societal carnage has been done under President Nicolas Maduro. People started leaving the country more frequently in 2014, and since then, nothing has improved. This has sparked the opposition, which was started by Juan Guaido. Juan Guaido is the president of Venezuela's National Assembly. Guaido says President Maduro should step down so the country has a chance of being revived. In 2014, Leopoldo Lopez was imprisoned for launching protests against Maduro. In these hectic times, you need a way out, and for many Venezuelans, their way out is fleeing the country. Where they go and how they get there may be an issue. So far, over 3.7 million Venezuelans have fled the country. That is about 5,000 people per day and over 10% of the country's total population so far. For the people who don't feel like walking across the border to Colombia or Brazil, their way out is to Trinidad or Tobago by boat. People would normally cross the border at large, but public crossings have been closed by Maduro due to the constant outflow. Since the main border closures, people have been participating in higher-risk crossings to Brazil and Colombia. One flawed attempt of making it to Trinidad from Venezuela left many Venezuelans missing after a ship capsized. Trinidad was not even aware of the wreck until 16 hours post-departure of the 3-hour trip. The political atmosphere in Venezuela is going crazy, with widespread opposition groups against the current president Nicolas Maduro. Juan Guaido is behind the opposition and is publicly challenging President Maduro. Guaido is the president of Venezuela's National Assembly, and he has publicly declared himself the interim president of Venezuela. Guaido, on multiple occasions, has called out Maduro for his extremely poor leadership. The vast majority of Venezuelans support Guaido for his patriotism and his will to fix the economy. Guaido has received tremendous support globally, but mainly from the US and Canada. After numerous attempts to remove Maduro, Guaido has requested US military intervention. Venezuela was once a very prosperous country, but within the past couple decades, things have changed drastically. In America, the bolivar is worth 17 thousandths of a dollar, and in Venezuela, $1 is worth about 237,000 bolivars. Very hard to believe the condition of Venezuela, considering that it was once the third wealthiest country in the world and the world's leader in oil export. Venezuela is suffering from a state of hyperinflation due to Maduro constantly printing more and more money in an attempt to slow the debt. In 2016, inflation rose to 800%, but it only gets worse from there. The National Monetary Fund predicts an estimated 380,000% inflation rate by the end of 2019.